I'm a bit confused, Robert.
You and everyone else.
Yeah, because if we listen to the media and newspapers, and if we like to think that what they're reporting is, fairly fair and fairly accurate, some are saying basically that the Bank of Canada has room to move, which means, like, if you translate that, that translated it's to cutting rates. And some basically are saying that there's likely, and some of our real estate chat viewers who have liked and subscribed are also thinking that there's no chance that the rates will be cut. In fact, they may actually go up. Robert, what's the truth then?
The truth is that everything that the Bank of Canada and the Federal Reserve do is a reaction to what's happening in the now that they're aware of, but based on the hard data that they have from the past. So if in November you bought a new car, that will show up in the December data, and then people in January will be saying, oh, well, people are buying more cars. Now, if you are someone who's waiting to do something until it's a more favorable time for you to do it. You either want it to be at a lower price or at a lower rate of interest. So people are watching who don't normally watch the Bank of Canada. It's always the same, but they have heard that it's going to go down. And so they say, well, if it's going to go down, then I know that's going to make prices go up. So I'm going to try to beat both of them. I'm going to buy before the prices go up, and I'm going to buy before the interest rates go down, but within time, so that if I have a 3 month commitment, the rate will go down and I'll still get it on the commitment. I can get the best of both worlds. Now, you can't get a commitment for long enough to get to the end of June. You're going to see nothing till the end of June. So no matter what they say in the newspaper, you got the TD, you got the Royal Bank coming out with a praise, an analysis of what was in the January, the January results in the February report from the Bank of Canada, and saying that shelter costs. What is shelter cost? Rent. Now that's compared to a year ago. How did they get that? Never mind. Uh, Interest rates on a homeowner have gone up. Yes, people have renewed, so it's higher. It's a very complex thing that there's a million parts in it. You know yourself, though, that gas has been farting around between 141 and 155 all year. You don't think it goes up and down, but they say it's gone down 7% for you 3 months in a row. You know that a pound of butter is more than it ever was. You know that everything that you buy, go and buy some wood, man. It's more than it ever was. So, what are they talking about? Inflation. It's the pace. They said the pace of inflation went down from a year ago. Instead of going up 4%, it only went up 3.9%. That's supposed to be good and a big indication that something grandiose is going to happen. This is slowing, and so that'll make rates go down. So don't second guess too far. Right now, there's a hype in the real estate business because it's spring and because there's a lot of real estate people that need to make a deal for January, and it's already February and they haven't made that deal yet. So they have something for sale and it's taking longer. If you've got 72,000 participants, now it's gone down to 69 or something or other participants in your market area that all have a vested interest in making things move ahead. Well, they're going to find a marketplace for their need to satisfy their need. Now, you're the buyer. Since December the 1st, you can demand far more from your representative than you ever could before, and they must give it to you because they know, and they just all taken training, that this is the new, I got to explain it all, I got to be accountable for it all, and I got to sign for it all. So it's a whole new world if you're a buyer, and it's a whole new world if you're a seller. Most of the real estate market doesn't know that yet because they haven't done a deal in the new environment, or they haven't got caught up in the complications of the new market with the new rules. So if you're a buyer, yes, the pace of the market has gone from lousy January, December's lousy every year to pre-spring. In pre-spring, everybody who's wanting to buy things, prices are going to go down. Everybody wants to sell things, prices are going to go up. So they can't both be right. But there's a fight. It's a supply and demand thing. There's more listings coming, but there may be no listings coming in the geographic area at the price range that you want. So you just have to wait. If you're, anyway, I don't want to keep on saying the same thing, but it's a time of transition in every spring market. The kids are going to go on a March break, come pretty soon. Then you got Easter that's going to muck it around too. But somewhere between now and the end of the second holiday, we're going to be in full blast spring. because the weather will be okay. It's not going to be sunny and 90 degrees, but everybody will be anticipating a move in July into June. So they'll be buying in that April, May window. So things will calm down after that, believe it or not. We'll go into the summer, where it'll calm down a little bit. Interest rates will go down a little bit. So nobody knows with assurance what's going on. I don't know with assurance. I know what the regular trend is. I hear what both sides of the argument are saying, and I know that they're both wrong. Somewhere in the middle is right.
Well, so I mean that's a whole bunch of everything, and like if you're scratching your head and wondering what did Robert just say, I mean, like let's just look at these two articles. We'll put it into the description so you can dissect it, but this is sort of where it's coming from. In one, this
Sure,
is
these are good ones.
yeah, this is from wealthprofessional.ca. The title is Inflation Slows More Than Expected in January. And this is exactly what Robert alluded to, is that this is looking back in the rearview mirror for things that have transpired in the past and then making decisions based on that, that it's likely to give Bank of Canada room to move in the coming months. And yet at the same time, you've got TD, BOC shelter inflation problem. And because Bank of Canada's inflation problem is mostly a housing issue, which of course raises inflation, then you talk about the same breath, TD's perspective, that's one of the biggest hurdles preventing the BOC from cutting rates. So we'll link to this because there's a lot of juicy stuff that Robert has just summarized in his chat. So no need for us to really dissect these things. But Robert, we always go back to what's best for our real estate chat viewers and what their decision making is. You've already alluded to that, but I guess we should address everyone else who's kind of um, I don't know, like some of the comments that we get is more of I hate to use the word attack on the stuff that we're talking about because as far as I'm concerned, we're trying to just do our best to educate. Of course, there's going to be a bias when real estate brokers are talking to you about real estate, just like there's a bias when a stockbroker is talking to you about investing in stock, or any other bias of somebody who's in an industry that sells something to you and is talking about that product. But what we want for everybody here watching this, Robert, is to really dissect what everybody's saying. Don't just listen to Robert and myself. Go to YouTube, go to whatever channels, talk to your real estate broker, talk to everybody, talk to your family and friends. And it's up to you, really, right, Robert? At the end of the day, we only bring what we bring to the table, and we hope that it's from a logical perspective because we've been doing this for a very long time and we look after our clients' best interest. You should look after your best interest and dissect what everybody is saying and not just taking it for face value.
Well, it comes to worldview. Anybody who's a complainer, be it in the comments, or be it at the water cooler, or be it on the street, or be it on the TV commentator, everybody has an existing worldview that they have either written a book about or have a vested interest in, or if that does happen, it's best for them. And it's very hard for them to change their mind on that. So anything that pokes them a little too hard in the eye, they're going to react with all kinds of things saying it's bias. But everybody has a bias. And if you can look at us and say that we have a bias and we're trying to shove a house down your throat, there's nobody that's been saying wait more often than us. Now, I don't care about the comments. John says, oh, look at this guy. I say, look, he's not even using his real name. Who cares what he thinks? He can't even use his real name. So, look, the whole idea of today's was to look at the articles from two different sources, looking at the same information and coming up with opposite conclusions. And maybe I went on for a bit of a rant saying the same thing, that they're both wrong. It's not going to be that way. There's some factor that's going to come along that will throw all of their thinking right now off. And part of it is that they're looking in the rearview mirror. You can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror.
And that's it, right? So we welcome you to type into the comments what you think. We look forward to those juicy comments so I can send them to Robert at 12 o'clock midnight.
In the middle of the night.
The middle of the night. Thanks for watching this episode of Real Estate Chat. To make sure you join in on the we mean that, good or bad. We love to hear from everybody, right? And we're real people. Google our names. You know where to find us. All right. Thanks for watching this episode. We're happy to help you if you need any help in real estate. Take care and bye for now.
Bye. See you later.